What's up, y'all? Hey, Quake and Cheryl. I just saw y'all. Hey. How y'all doing? Welcome, 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 y'all. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Well, thank you, Brown Mama. Brown Mama, so I don't even watch reality TV anymore. You just caught up on it. It's so good. I hope they get a season 2. Don went to the finale party, like rap party, and he said that the feeling nobody said anything definitive, but he said it felt like they were going to get a season 2. Like it felt like it, and I'm here for it. I think they need a season 2. So I apologize, I did get behind. So let's wrap it up. Let's get these last 2 episodes in the books, honey. Let's get these last 2 episodes in the books. So we are here for Heart and Hustle. Right, long time no see. We are here for Heart and Hustle Houston. Heart and Hustle Houston. I'm sorry, episode 7 and 8. Lord, I'm sorry, I got stuck. So episode 7 starts off with oh Lord. Baby, these names. Because I want to say Labrina, but it's not Labrina. Latoya. Latoya is planning. She is celebrating 16 years of her company, 16 years being in PR, and she is throwing herself a sweet 16 party. Let me tell you something. And I saw some people kind of making light of this or joking about this a little bit. Baby, let me tell you something. If you don't celebrate yourself, nobody else will. And I think as a Black woman that is out in these streets doing her thing, making her money, building her reputation, putting in that work, baby, I don't see nothing wrong with her throwing. Baby, if she want to throw a party every year and celebrate her success, I'm here for it. And I think we have to stop waiting for somebody else to give us the flowers. Give them to your damn self. So I was here for her planning a Sweet 16 party to celebrate 16 years of doing what it is that she does. And I was here for it. That venue that they went to is gorgeous. Like, I don't know how much that shit costs, but baby, that venue was beautiful. Where like you could change the setting and it was like you were inside of a forest or inside of a club or something. I loved it. I mean, again, I'm sure it was just a lighting trick or whatever, but I was here about all of it. I was here for all of it. Exactly. You should absolutely celebrate yourself, because if you wait for somebody else to celebrate you, baby, you'll be waiting. You'll be waiting. And then you get mad because ain't nobody celebrating you, baby. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. And that's what I'm here for. So so she get Chloe to help her, because we know Chloe is an event planner. And her and Chloe talk a little bit, but I was just here for that. So there's that. So then we have Labrina and her son and her husband. Now here's where, and I don't know if Labrina watch. I know Ro watches our reviews. I don't know if Labrina watches the reviews, but baby, Labrina, you might be getting ready to get mad at me. Her and her husband are having a conversation with the son. Hey, Don, I just talked about you, boo, and not in a bad way. The son's grades have not been doing well. I actually told Labrina that this is what we wanted to see from her. Oh, well, you about to be mad. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading something. Labrina is talking to her son and her husband. Her husband. The son says that the reason why he wanted to spend some time with his father is because he felt unwanted in the house. He felt like a burden. He felt like he was an outsider. And that's why he wanted to spend more time with his father, because he felt like he was doing them a favor by getting out of the way. Now, here's what I know about children. Either A, this is truly how this boy feels, which means that we need to dig deeper, because kids don't have those feelings for no reason. Something is happening in that home to make him feel like an outsider. Something is happening in that home to make him feel like he's a burden. Something is happening in that home to make him feel like y'all would be happier if I just wasn't here. He doesn't feel a part of the family unit. Y'all have a younger child. He feels like he is not a part of that unit. Now, that's one way of looking at it, because again, I know kids. The flip side of that is kids say shit that they know is going to garner attention when they in trouble and they don't want to tell the real reason. He could very well be screwing up in school, and he's using this as an excuse because he thinks it's going to get him some sympathy points. He could very well want to go over his dad's house because the rules aren't as strict and his dad ain't as, on top of things, and he can get away with shit. That could very well be what the reason is. That could very well be what the reason is. And I don't have that. I don't have enough information to decide which one is true. I don't have enough information to decide which part of that is true. But what I can say is, it's, in my opinion, it's one of the two. Now, I feel like y'all need to dig deeper and figure out which part it is, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to happen on camera. I respect that. Here's where I got upset. I didn't like her husband's response because the husband made it about him. I did not like the husband's response because the husband made it about him. The husband started talking about all the things he's done for this child and how he's done this and he's done that and he feels how he feels and that hurt his feelings. Sir, this is not about you. If you came into a situation with a child that was already there and you treated that child as if he was your own child, that's what you were supposed to do. When you started dating Labrina and she already had a son and you decided to treat, and not decided, but you were treating the son as your own, that's what you signed up for. You don't get no brownie points for that. And you just happen to have more resources than the average guy because you are a former NFL player and it looks like you invested your money well. I mean, I don't know that, but from what we see, it looks like y'all have invested well. So y'all live a very comfortable life. But I didn't like that response. I didn't like how he made that about him. That's my opinion. Because the minute he started saying, well, my feelings were hurt because I felt like I've always treated you and I've always done for you and I've always been there for you and and his feelings about, he has a right to his feelings. Let's be clear. He has a right to feel like, well, damn, how can he feel like an outsider when I've done everything in my power to not make him feel that way? He has a right to his feelings. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want nobody to twist what I'm saying. He has a right to how he feels. But in that moment, I felt like, why are you making this about you? Because it's not about you. It's about this boy. And whether he's telling the truth about why he wants to spend more time with his father, or whether he's making up some bullshit about why he wants to spend more time with his father, it still ain't about you. But that's just my opinion. And again, I'm not saying that he's a bad person. That ain't what I'm saying, because I think human nature is to feel hurt. If you feel like you've done everything and you've gone out of your way and you've bent over backwards, human nature is to feel hurt. Human nature is to be like, well, damn, I did everything in my power to make him feel like he was mine. I never consciously did anything to make him feel like an outsider. But here's what I know. And y'all can agree or disagree with what I'm getting ready to say. Here's what I know. Even when kids have the same biological parents, when a baby comes around, it is very easy to feel like an outsider because the baby gets all of the attention. So here I don't remember how old Labrina's son is, but Labrina's son, her younger son is a couple of years old. So here this older kid is, he's in high school, which means that when this child was born, he was in maybe 5th, 6th grade, going into middle school, right? Certainly old enough to understand what was going on. Certainly old enough to understand the shift and the difference. You know what I'm saying? They had 5 acres to 50 acres. Okay. Certainly old enough to feel the shift. So even, that's what I'm saying, even in the best of situations, when it is not your intention to make somebody feel like an outsider, when you have the same biological parents, a 12, 13-year-old with a new baby coming into the house is going to feel some kind of way if the parents are not cognizant of that and are on top of it. You see what I'm saying? So it could be very valid. It could be very valid that he felt that way. You know? And especially with both of them having businesses and things like that. So I'm not upset with the husband, because I think it's easy for all of us to be like, well, wait a minute, I've bent over backwards. I've done everything I know to do. You know? All right. So all right. So let's move on. So next we see Chloe, Ro, and Latoya go out for lunch, and she breaks down to them how the date went with the horseman. No, thank you. But she talks about that she does want to date, but and she talks about her sweet 16 and why she's celebrating herself. And Chloe sort of downloads them on what's been going on with her and her son and all of that. And she says, listen, well, it's gonna be some local music people are going to be at the party. I would, bring your son. I would love to introduce him. And again, I love seeing it, y'all. Like, that is what we need to do. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know what I get sick of? I'm about to go off now. Y'all know what I get sick of? I get so sick of people acting like people got to get it out the mud. Let me tell you something. These people don't do that. These people don't do that. These people put their kids in the right rooms with the right people to make the connections that they need to make. And if they need to make a phone call, if they need to put a resume on somebody's desk, if they need to set up an interview, that is what they do. So I'm so sick of people feeling like, oh, well, I know that my son wants to be a rapper, and I know some of the biggest producers in the city, but nah, he need to get it out the mud. Nah, he need to come up. That is not. We gotta stop. So I loved seeing Ro be like, "Hey, girl, can you help my son?" And I loved Latoya saying, "Bring him to the party. I'll make sure he meet the people he need to meet." Now, once they get in the room, now you got to do your thing. I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make that horse drink. You're gonna have to drink the water. But I loved that moment, because absolutely we need to embrace nepotism. Thank you, DB, because at the end of the day, nepotism is nepotism, and it's real, and it is what it is. And if we have people and we know people, why don't we want to help the people? On one hand, we say, oh, we want our kids to do better than us, but then we don't put ourselves in those positions. Let me say, I told y'all before, my daddy told me when I was getting ready to buy a house, I was living at my parents' house because I had an apartment, and then I was renting from my best friend. She decided to sell the house. I didn't want to buy her house, so I moved back in with my parents, and I said, well, I'll just buy me a house. But I didn't want to buy that house. But I said, and I remember when I started looking for an apartment, my dad and I wish I had listened to him. I promise y'all, I wish I had listened to what my dad said. My dad was like, you ain't got to be in no rush. He was like, just keep saving your money. He said, you're not getting on our nerves. You're not in our way. You're not bothering us. He said, you can stay here, save your money. Baby, I wish I had listened. Okay? I wish I had listened. But we But we'd be so quick to say, "Oh, you live with your mother." Don't even know what the situation is or why somebody living with their parents. Because let's be clear, I could afford a place. You know, that mentality needs to stop in our community, and that's one of the things that holds us back from advancing as a community. I agree. So we see Latoya getting herself ready for the party. She gets her beat done by Elena. I was here for it. We see she's got like a whole casino type vibe. She's doing like a Vegas theme. I love her little jumpsuit. I love the dress that she changed to. One thing I'm gonna say about Latoya, as for a big girl, I love that she dresses well and she dresses for her body. And we talked about this yesterday with Bell Collective. She dresses well. Like you can tell that what she wears is, you know, good clothes. She ain't shopping off for Shein. No disrespect to Shein. But you can tell that she pays a good penny for her, for her dresses and stuff like that. I mean, her regular everyday clothes are probably jeans and t-shirts and stuff. But you can tell that she put the money in. I love that jumpsuit. Because let me tell you something, jumpsuits are hard to pull off for big girls. I have ordered a jumpsuit or two in my life, and it just I didn't like the way it looked on me. Okay. And I set that thing back real quick because all my belly, it's all right here. And if you don't get the right jumpsuit that cinches in the right places, it just ain't cute. Or you don't wear the right support undergarments. One thing I say about Latoya, baby, Latoya be wearing them support garments. Baby, Latoya is gonna put on a support garment. I loved her party. I loved how Houston it was. I'm not from Houston. Obviously, I don't know Houston, but I could tell them cars, baby. I could tell that was Houston. I could tell that was 100% Houston. The way she showed up at that party with them cars and stuff, I was here for it. I loved it. We saw her actually introduce. We saw Chloe's son there. We saw her work the room and introduce Chloe's son to some of the biggest producers in Houston. I don't know these people, but they were there. My children stayed home and then saved money, then bought their new homes. Yeah, I just wish I had stayed home. That's Houston, Texas down. Yeah, I could tell. I could tell it was, again, I don't even know nothing about the culture, but I could tell that was Houston. Them cars, I could tell that was 100% Houston, okay? And then she gave a speech. She spoke about her dad and her dad's influence on her, how much she missed him, and how hard this year has been for her. She was crying and everybody else was crying. And then she said that she wanted to shift her business away from so much celebrity and more into community and charity, projects. And let me tell you something. I was here for it. I respect that 100%. And once again, we are dealing with a boss bitch. And I don't mean that no disrespect, Latoya. I ain't calling you no bitch because I feel like you would be offended if you felt like somebody called you one. I'm not calling you one. I'm saying you a boss bitch. Because to not only own your own business, but to not be a slave to the type of business you have to do is a beautiful space to be in. Here she's saying, I am in a space now where I can pick and choose my clients instead of having to take whatever client come through the door to pay my bills. I can pick and choose the projects that I want to take on because I want them to mean something to me because that's the person my father raised me to be. And I'm doing this for him or in memory of him or in reverence to him. Baby, that is a beautiful space to be in. I'm trying to just get to the space where I work for myself. And then I get to the point where not only do I work for myself, but I don't have to be a slave to any type of business just to make it, just to pay the bills. Baby, that's where I'm trying to be. That's where I'm trying to be. And I respect the hell out of it. And I loved it. Baby, and then they partied the rest of the night. I was here for it. We know that Latoya went to a HBCU, so you definitely saw the HBCU vibe in the party. You saw the swag surf. She's an AKA. You saw that she was there with her sorors. You saw her. They didn't show the AKA strolling, but you definitely saw her and some of her sorors doing some AKA things. I wish they had showed them strolling because I know they did. I know they did. I wish they had showed them strolling, but I was here for it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And that is why I love this show, because this show shows boss women doing boss shit unapologetically. And I think that's important too. The unapologetically part is important. Hold on, y'all. I need 2 seconds. Well, a little bit more than 2 seconds. Give me a quick minute. I need to fix something. Hold on. And I apologize, child. I know y'all gonna be like, really, B? So that was the party. So next we see, oh shoot, that's not what I want. We see Elena and Josh at their therapy session. Now listen, I would say, Josh, we owe you an apology because we had you with all kinds of babies, having all kinds of affairs, doing all kinds of shit. I would say I owe you an apology, but I really don't owe you an apology because what you did was just as bad. And I think that sometimes we don't put these other things on the same level of infidelity. But baby, you breaking my trust. And the beefs ain't keeping them from supporting each other. I'm just not saying this to say it, but in person, they are truly bringing each other up. But that's the thing I love too, Chef Don Don, about this show is, yes, they had beef. They had beef with each other, but I love how they resolved it and they never brought it back up. Like they never went back and threw it in each other's face. Well, remember you said this. Remember, like it was like we resolved it, boom, 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 and we were done with it. That I love too, because that's one thing that wears me out with these reality shows is they'll take one thing and that shit will last for 6 episodes. And I'll be like, I am so sick of talking about when she brought the charcuterie board to the damn party. Like, I am sick of it. And then they'll bring shit up 3 seasons later. Remember that time you bought that charcuterie board? You be like, are you serious? We still talking about that? So I loved how we handled that. Okay. Now, I'm doing 2 things at one time. So we see Josh. I never did my lineup. I'm trying to do my lineup before 1 o'clock so I can get in the game. John, what his name, child? What his name? Josh done stole the money. I ain't about to drag that out because we got a whole nother episode we got to get to. Josh just stole the money. And somebody said it. If you said it, raise your hand in the chat. Somebody said, what if it was business? What if he messed up the business? Somebody said that. And I said, maybe because she did. Because remember, I said, why is she separating her business? But I said, somebody said it. And I said, well, maybe that is why she separated her business. That might be why she separated her business. I said that. Baby, he done took the money and he was trying to be a day trader. And it sounded like he fucked up the money bad. Baby, he messed up that money so bad. She says they had to sell their house. She said they had to sell the house. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I respect the hell out of Elena for even trying to work this thing out. Because how the clock sister say, it couldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. They said something different, but I just had to. Baby, ain't no way in hell you still be sleeping under my roof. You done took. First of all, I had to. So I feel like maybe when Elena said I had to sell my house, I'm wondering if they had another property, because you mean to tell me you had to sell your house and y'all moved into another house and he's still under the roof of the new house that you had to live under after you sold your house? Absolutely not. She said, right. She said hundreds of thousands. Now, I love how whatever she was able to salvage, she was able to salvage it to the point where she still has enough money to open up her own business, and she still has a home and she still has a vehicle. So she was able, I mean, maybe she had her own savings, maybe whatever, but she was able to salvage it to the point where she got her own money. But it ain't no way in hell that I'm sorry, you did what? You did what? Not my money. So we found out that that's what Josh had done, child. And again, we understand. We understand that that's what Josh had done. So this whole season, we were in suspense to figure out what the hell Josh did. And we finally found out what Josh did. Now listen, Elena. What did I just do? I'm going to say the same thing that I said before. If you can't forgive him, let it go. You can't keep the man in the whole pattern for the rest of his life. If you can't forgive him, let it go. That's all I'm saying. If you can't forgive him, let it go. And I ain't listen, I ain't never gonna tell nobody to divorce their husband. So that ain't what I'm saying. Don't nobody go nowhere and say really be said divorce. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying if you can't forgive him, you gotta let that go. You said she gotta take some accountability too. What accountability she gotta take, Don? That's her husband and she trusted him. What accountability she gotta take? See, y'all can't have it both ways now. Now, I don't know what you're going to say. You're going to say it in the chat, I'm sure. But you can't have it both ways. And what I mean by that is this. You can't say that a woman, you got to let a man be a man. And when you let that man be a man, now I got to take some accountability because he fucked it up. I mean, tell me. What she got to take it. Tell me what she got to take accountability for, because I don't know what she's supposed to take accountability for. If she allowed this man to handle the finances because she was letting that man be a man and run the household and he fucked it up. I don't understand what tell me what she was supposed to do. Why wasn't she checking her statements on her accounts? She chose to marry a man she didn't trust. Now, okay, all right, Don, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on, because listen, Don, you right. Thank you, boo. You are right. Because at the end of the day, girl, you should have never married that man. At least not when you married him. Again, and I know that a lot of times we are so far gone. The marriage is down the road. We done spent so much money. We done put deposits. We got people coming from out of town. We don't want to be embarrassed. I get all of that. But baby, when you found out that man cheated on you before y'all got married, y'all walked into that in a bad space. Y'all walked into that already in a bad situation. So you're right. That I agree with you 100%. Now that I agree with you 100%. You said she should have been checking her statements of her accounts. Again, y'all, I'm going to say this. I feel like I know in 2025 we handle marriage differently. I get it. But can I tell y'all something? My mama told me a long time ago, she said, if your daddy ever go to the bank and try to do anything with his signature on it, they're going to arrest him. Because my daddy ain't signed shit. My mama did. Baby, our house could be getting foreclosed on and my daddy would never know. Because my mama handles all of the finances. He just know that when he go to the ATM machine, there's money there. He just know that if he say, we need new tires, my mama say, use this credit card. Go and get the tires. Use this card. And my father might even ask. He'll say, well, do we have enough money for me to do da-da-da-da-da? My mother be like, all right, but make sure you use the such and such credit card. Baby, my daddy don't know. My cousin, and she's younger than my parents. She's she's a few years older than me. Her husband don't know shit about the finances in that house. He just knows he got money to do the shit he want to do. He get paid, he give her his check. He take out whatever spending money he think he gonna need for the week, and he give her the check. Yeah. I mean, we got direct deposit now, but he take out whatever he think he need, and his check is just there. So I understand what y'all are saying. For some people don't handle their marriage that way. Some people don't handle their bills that way. So I understand that. But in some marriages, people really truly just turn over the finances. You're better at money. You're better with money management. Especially if you got married younger. Now, I think the older we get, the less likely we are to give up that. Like if I ever got married now, I probably would not be in that position to give up that, because I've been handling good, bad, or indifferent. I've been handling my own finances my whole life. So I don't know if I would be that inclined at this age. But you were talking about straight out of high school, straight out of college, in our 20s. So I understand where some of y'all are coming from, but everybody don't handle their marriage like that. Now, we'll say this. Clearly, she had enough control over her finances that she's okay. She started her own business. She opened up her new salon. It looked like it's a nice space. We know she had work done and the contractors coming in. It's a beautiful space. We know that she still has a home, whether she's renting it or not. She still got a home, and it looks like it's a nice house that they filmed in. We know she drive a nice little Audi truck. So she had enough control over her own money that she landed on her feet. I think their savings is what he fucked up. I don't know if he messed up their day-to-day quality of living other than having to sell the house, but they definitely downsized. Yeah, she downsized. Yeah, downsizing their home probably saved them. Yeah. So, yeah. And they might be renting the house that we saw. They might be renting that, but it's still a nice house. And it looked like it's a nice house in a nice neighborhood. So I feel like I don't know if he messed up their month-to-month bills as much as he messed up their savings and wiped out what they had in their savings. And like she said, once he started losing, then he started chasing to get it back, which is what happens in gambling. And listen, the stock market is just high stakes gambling. Let's call a thing a thing. It's gambling. It's gambling. And when you lose, especially if you lost money you can't afford to lose, the first rule of gambling is don't gamble money you can't afford to lose, because the house always wins. When I gamble, baby, I gamble what I can afford. I budget my gambling, because I do like to gamble, but I budget my gambling. Now, I accept that I don't have an addiction and I can walk away. But when I go, like, for example, if I'm going on a cruise, I put how much money aside. This is what I'm going to gamble with. And win, lose, or draw, this is what I'm gambling with. And when it's gone, it's gone. If I win, great. Great. She included him way more in the brand than she should have. I can go along around. That's because she did let her right hand know what her left hand was doing. In my grandmama voice, she had her own save for a rainy day. Another one my grandmother told me. Yep, God bless. Listen, my mama tell me all the time, God bless the child that's got his own. Look, can I tell y'all something? And I'm probably telling y'all too much of my parents' business. Baby, my daddy got a rainy day and don't even know it. My mama got a rainy day. My daddy got a rainy day. And he probably don't even know he got a rainy day. Okay. I told y'all when I went on that European cruise, it was a 10-day cruise. That's the longest cruise I've ever been on. It was a 10-day cruise. And I budgeted a certain amount of money per day to gamble with. A certain amount of money per day to gamble with. The third night on the cruise, I hit. I hit for like $2,500. Let me tell y'all what I did. I took the chips. Once I hit, I got up. I was like, I'm not chasing nothing. I hit for $2,500. I told them, give me when they gave me my chips, this is what I did. I did not cash my chips out. I took the chips. I went back to my room. I put the chips in the safe. And then for the rest of the cruise, I used the money that I won. I would go to the safe every night before I went to the casino. I would take out a certain amount out of the chips that I won. And that's what I would take to the casino. And it's funny because I actually hit again. I hit again for like another $1,500. The last night of the cruise, I took all of the chips out the safe. I knew they wasn't gonna let me hit that last night. I played a little bit. I might have played a little something, a little here, a little there. But I knew they wasn't going. The last night of the cruise, ain't nobody hitting. Now, let me tell you something. The last night of the cruise, ain't nobody hitting nothing. The first night of the cruise, you might hit because they want you to keep coming back. But that last night of the cruise, baby, you ain't hitting nothing. I'm just tell you now, you ain't hitting nothing. Don't even play that game. I played a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I went and I cashed them chips out. And let me tell you what I did. I took that money. When I cashed out them chips, I went straight to the concierge desk and I paid my bill. Whatever. And this was before drink packages and all of that. So I had it. It was a 10-day cruise. So I think my bill was, was about $400, give or take some things. Baby, I paid my bill. I tell people all the time, I walked off that cruise with money in my pocket. I very seldom walk off a cruise with money in my pocket. But baby, I walk because I never touched the money I had budgeted to gambling. I never touched that money after the third night. I never touched that money again. And and the money that I had put aside to pay my bill, I didn't need to use that either. Baby, I walked off that cruise with money. Ooh, that was good. Baby, I love that. That European cruise was a good time. Anyway, another conversation for another day, child. So let's get into the last episode, child. I know it's gonna take this long, but I know I keep getting sidetracked, child. I keep getting sidetracked. So all right, so Labrina has planned a girls' weekend getaway for the ladies. I was here for it. I was definitely here for it. I was here for it. Y'all know I love me a good girls trip. I'm always down for a girls trip. I love me a good girls getaway. So I was here for it. I think, who was it? Chloe said she had never been on a girls trip before. So I do not know if this was an Airbnb that she rented or if this was on her property. I don't know if this was one of the homes on her property, but whatever it was, the house was cute. And it was definitely the scene was beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful space. I loved it. The ladies all showed up, and I'm gonna be honest, they just had a chance to just talk to each other. And again, I feel like they were uplifting each other. They were sharing their thoughts. I don't feel like hold on a second, y'all. I'm sorry I keep telling y'all to hold, but hold on a second, y'all. Of course, Latoya talked about the party, and they congratulated her. They told her how proud they were of her for shifting her business. Chloe talked about how much she appreciated Latoya making good on her promise by introducing her son. Like, it was just all positive, and they were uplifting each other, and they were going around the table. Quake said it was one of the best girls trips housewives should take notice. Again, because they weren't trying to make drama. Like the producer of this, I might have to reach out to him and see if I can interview him, because I really love how this show really gave us what they promised to give us. They promised that this was going to be positive. They promised it was going to be uplifting. They promised that this was not going to be that. Like I kept waiting. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I kept waiting. I said, okay, this is gonna be the episode. I mean, when they brought in that girl, that lady that was drama, I was like, oh, here we go. Here it is. Here's the drama. But baby, that was 2 episodes and we moved on. Right? They let her be messy for 2 episodes and we moved on. So I loved this. So the women, we did that. So then we saw them have dinner. And Chloe got to flirting with the chef. Now listen, y'all. I think y'all was putting 20 on 10 with this chef situation. Chloe is not married. Chloe is not married. And y'all already said that man is too young for her and she need to date somebody her own age. So now when she get to flirting with somebody, now y'all got a problem with it. I need y'all to make up y'all mind. Who the chef? I ain't find the chef to be. I mean, I didn't think he was ugly, but I didn't see what the big deal was with her flirting. Now, the only thing I could think of was they was mad that Chloe jumped on it before they had a chance to jump on it. Because I mean, maybe they wanted this. I think maybe they was going to try to set Latoya up with him. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like that's because again, it wasn't that deep. And I don't even think Chloe meant it like that. I think Chloe was just flirting just to be flirting. Now, I mean, would she have taken the person out on a date? Maybe, she might have took him out on a date, a little something, But I don't think it was that serious. But again, it was said, and then they moved on. Now, the biggest conflict that happened on this girls' trip was between Mimi and Elena. So here's my 2 cents on this. So Elena was basically saying that Mimi wasn't there for her. I saw your open letter, boo. I saw your open letter. I saw I think she was really still mad at her husband. So here's the thing. I think that here's my problem. I think that sometimes we forget that everybody got shit going on in their life. And I understand that when we have something going on, we want people to show up for us in the way that we need them to show up for us in that moment. But I think that we forget that we ain't the only people going through shit. And when you are not open and you don't articulate what you need from your friends, and when your friends are not open and they don't articulate what they need from you, that's when shit gets lost in translation. So Mimi was like, listen, I had a lot going on myself, and I tried to be there for her as much as I could be, but I was dealing with my own shit. I mean, I was trying to pay people's bills and my family with this, that, and the other. Now, let me put a pin in that. Hey, Mimi, why is this the first we hearing about that? You gave us this bullshit storyline between your husband and your mother instead of giving us what you really had going on, which was your family is draining you and your family think that you are the bank. Girl, tell us the real. Don't bring it up, because my thing is this. You brought it up. So you brought it up at the end, so now I can talk about it. Baby, if you're going to tell it, tell it. So now you're telling us you had all this stuff going on in your real life and that, you tried to be there for Elena as best as you could. You said, but Elena didn't call you and check on you. Girl, didn't nobody know. You can't be mad at your friends for not showing up for you if you don't tell them you need them to show up for you. Listen, we ain't mind readers. That's what she said, 7 deaths, not death. I'm sorry. She said deaths. I'm sorry. Thank you, Angela. But you were going through some real shit. But are you articulating that to your friends? Don't bring it up now that we in an argument and you tell me all the things you had going on when I'm telling you I didn't feel like you were there for me. I can't listen. We all got shit. Especially the older we get. We can't play the your blues ain't like mine game. Because everybody got shit going on in their life. And sometimes your storm is worse than my storm. But 6 months from now, my storm might be worse than your storm. And I think we get caught up in what we have going on. So I think the two of them, Elena was saying, listen, you're one of the few people that I actually opened up to and told what was really going on. And I felt like you weren't there for me, like I needed you to be there for me. And Mimi was like, girl, I was processing and dealing with my own shit. And I was there for you in the best way I could be. And I think that sometimes they said there was a whole scene that they all filmed earlier in the season that didn't make it. I got a lot of tea. They said they cried and everything, but she didn't tell them. And we know that there are always scenes that they don't tell us. But in that argument, in that moment, that's how I felt. I felt like, Elena, you wanted her to be there for you more than what she was there for you. And I feel like Mimi was like, girl, I did the best I could with what I had in that moment because I was barely getting through my damn self. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still trying to finish this shit. We almost done though. But again, what I love is the two of them argued. It got nasty now. It did get a little nasty. Because Elena, you was doing that shit that I can't stand. When I'm trying to talk, I don't need you pontificating. I don't need you. If I say, let me finish my thought, I don't need you speaking after everything I say. Okay. Sure. Because I got an attitude and you have an attitude, and now you're doing that passive aggressive shit. And Elena, I ain't like it. And I would have said this, and I understood where Mimi was coming from, and I would have done the same thing she did, baby. I would have shut down. I would have shut down. When I'm trying to talk to you and it's already getting heated and it's already getting elevated, and every time I say something, you got to say something back, baby. I'm gonna shut down. I'm gonna just shut up. I'm gonna shut up. Because if I keep talking, it's gonna get ugly. I wish they'd do an episode of scenes we didn't see. I hate that they take out scenes that, and I understand everything can't make it, but I hate that they take out scenes that I think could move along storylines. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. You must want a problem. I don't communicate well with people like that. Yeah, I don't like that because that'll make me shut down. And again, I understand that when everybody gets heated and everybody feel the way they feel. But also at the dinner, let me put a pin and rewind. At the dinner, Elena finally opened up and let the ladies know what was really going on with Josh. So for a lot of them, they did not know. They knew it was trouble in paradise. And I'm sure that all of them assumed the same thing we assume. We all assumed that it was probably another woman, or he had a baby in them streets, or he was out there in them streets. But when they found out what it was, a lot of them was like, oh shit. You know, a lot of them was like, oh, well, you know, we definitely understand. Because Elena, in any other scenario, you would have gotten cussed out. And woulda. And again, Elena, I respect that you didn't put all your business in the streets. I respect that. I respect that you didn't tell everybody everything that was going on in your household. I respect that. But again, you can't expect people to give you what they don't have to give if they don't have all of the information to give it. If I don't have all the information, I can only do what I can do. I can only do what I do. What I also take is she's not that vocal in her relationship because where's that energy? Girl, listen, I really want to know how that argument went. Because I feel like Elena was very much, Josh, I can't believe you did that. You really put our family's finances in jeopardy. I'm very hurt by what you did. Like, I feel like that was the argument. I needed her to get that same energy. Like, she didn't even get mad in therapy. Therapy is the place to get mad. She didn't even elevate her voice in therapy. And by the end, she hugging on that man. She didn't even want to hear Manera, and she didn't even realize that she wasn't even being the type of friend she thought she deserved. Well, well, right. And maybe it's just on camera because I know sometimes things don't translate well. But you're right. It just didn't seem like she didn't seem like she had a whole lot of energy. Right, laying his head in her bosom. She was doing the Ayala. She put the every time I think of somebody's head in the bosom, baby, I think about Ayala, baby. And that's when I used to listen to the read. We talked about the read a few weeks ago, and I told y'all that the read. I used to love the read. That was the first podcast I listened to when I got into my car. Whenever they dropped a new episode, again, I think the new episodes came out either on Wednesday or Thursdays. But I remember when they talked about that episode of Ayala, when Crystal talked about when she put Karichi's head in her bosom, baby. They talked about that thing. I was in tears. Do you hear me? And every time I think about somebody putting their head in their bosom, that is all I think about is Ayala Van Zandt. That is all I think about. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this last thing. Oh shit. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Oh shit. I'm doing the wrong thing. Son of a gun. Damn it. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm so sorry. Y'all gotta give me a minute. Give me a minute. I got 4 minutes to do this. Oh shit. Uh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah. So who was it? Oh, that's what I did right there. Um, so that was pretty much how it ended. I mean, of course, it ended with positive affirmations and the love they have for each other. And I definitely want to see this show come back. Don, maybe me and you need to talk. Well, we need to talk anyway, sir. We need to talk offline anyway, but maybe me and you need to talk about about um about maybe reaching out and doing what we can do to try to, because I do think, and I know you talked about this a little bit about how OWN or whoever was in charge like really sort of dropped the ball, because this was a great show, and especially for Black women. I mean, I was here for it. And I loved how these women showed up on camera, flaws and all. And I don't mean physical flaws. I mean, they didn't try to pretend like their life was perfect, and they didn't rent out, $300,000 cars to film scenes. They didn't go get Airbnbs on the lake to try to make, like, I loved how they just showed up their authentic selves, and they were who they were. I love that they were who they were. And I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second. I'm almost done. It wasn't for my favorite YouTubers, I wouldn't know anything about the show. See? And I remember when they dropped the trailer and stuff, but they didn't saturate. They didn't saturate anything with the trailer. They just dropped the trailer. And they didn't, you know what I mean? I'm like, you could have gave us more. You could have gave us more than what you gave us. All right. Fuck! Shit. I'm gonna miss it again. That's my fault. I waited to the last minute again. I waited to the last minute again. It's almost 1 o'clock. Fuck. Shit. Did I make it? 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 Y'all, listen. I wait to the okay. So let me say this. I purposely wait to the last minute to do my football lineups because in case if there's an injury or something, and they be doing last minute scratches, right? So I purposely wait until like noon. But I forgot I should have done my entries before I started doing my Heart and Hustle review. That's what I should have done. Anyway, I made it. So then when I got ready to submit, I didn't have enough money in my FanDuel account. So I had to add money real quick. And it was like, you got 30 seconds left. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I made it. I'm in. Oh, God. Lord have mercy. Now watch I did all that and I ain't even go. Oh, watch I did all that and I ain't even gonna make it. I mean, I ain't even gonna make no money. I ain't gonna win no damn money. Was a complete disappointment. Yeah, I just feel like that they could have done better. I feel like they saturate when it's a new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. They just saturate it, even when it's the ones that nobody watches, even when it's Love and Marriage Detroit. You know what I mean? They saturate in every commercial. We see it. That remind us. And I just feel like they didn't do that for these women. And these women deserve that. These women deserve that. And it just pisses me off because we all like drama. Let's be clear. We all like drama. We would be a liar to say we didn't like drama, right? We all like the drama of it. But I think what we have to remind these networks is that it doesn't have to be all drama every day. And again, I said I wasn't going to use the word filler. I said I wasn't going to use the word boring because I didn't want to even put that out there for this show. I didn't want to put that out there for this show. Were there some episodes that were more exciting than others? Yeah, absolutely. But I didn't want to, oh, this was just a filler. Oh, this was boring. Now, there were some things that I feel like they could have given us more of, but it's a first season show. There is room for growth. There is room to improve. It's a first season, you know? But it frustrates me when we say we want these types of shows, and when we get them, then we don't support them. And again, to be fair, it's hard to support if you don't know. So that's valid as well. With that being said, you guys, let me get out of here. I am getting ready to go hang out with Treese. We're going to watch some football. We may go live a little bit, a little something from her house. We're going to watch a little football. I'm going to hang out with her for a little while. And then we'll be back here for Potomac. The Potomac ladies will be back. So we'll be here for Potomac. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.